Hey y'all, this is Iman Ramawi Doster with another episode of My So-Called Disabled Life. And y'all, sometimes this world is just wild. And not only have we been having all kinds of wacky weather, but we've also just been having some very weird, hilarious, interesting things going on with our politics, with our famous people, with all the folks. And all I got to say to that is that, sometimes the world turns into a real life cartoon drama of shenanigans. And if you shenan once, you're going to shenan again. I heard that recently and I've been sharing it because this is so dang funny. So today I have a wonderful guest who I'm so excited to share with you. Their name is Lumie, and they are a disabled creative, a fashionista, and a content creator. And I'm just so excited to share this person with you because I just love talking to disabled folks about their very cool lives. So here we go.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I am doing pretty well considering have been doing pretty poorly a lot around this time of day. So I am taking that as a win that I am not feeling in the trenches of my illness today.
I love that so much. So I'm going to start off with a question that I ask everybody. So who is Lumie and why do you do what you do?
So I am a mixed media self-taught artist and I create content as well, sharing about just my life's journey, especially as a young disabled woman. And my intention with that is to build some community and also just to share my journey and make others feel seen and not alone, because part of being disabled, I think, especially in my case, has been feeling very isolated. And I want to make sure that by sharing, I feel like I'm allowing myself to not be isolated, as well as inviting others into this space to have community and solidarity with each other.
I love that so much. So, what kind of creative content do you create, and what are some of the cool things that you've experienced making videos and content?
Yeah, so I'd say the main categories I create content in are just things that I'm interested in. So definitely my fashion. Sorry, I might need to take a sip of water. Um, So my outfits, I'm really into Japanese fashion, specifically himakashi, and which is kind of like it translates to princess off duty or princess casual, and that's definitely, I'll show you guys actually. Definitely what I'm into, and I like to put very like whimsical kind of fairy tale twist on that. And I also share a lot about my disability and kind of my journey with getting diagnosed, as that could probably help others, as well as just kind of currently where I'm at. My disability is pretty significant for me. It really affects my life and it really prevents me from working or going to school, or, I had to stop school in my senior year of high school. I had 1.5 credits left and I had to stop school because I got too ill. So, um, I guess a way I kind of cope with that is by sharing what I'm doing in this kind of in between period of my life. So I like to share, like, okay, how do I make my life more accessible for me? How do I do the things that I do? And another big part of that is my art and my creations. And I do a lot of different things. I do illustrations, I do paintings, I do embroidery beading, which I've been really into lately. Actually, I believe I have a piece.
It's gorgeous.
Thank
Oh my
you, thank you.
goodness.
I really like to experiment with different things, different mediums. I don't like to confine myself to just one thing, because there's just so much beauty in the creative process, I think, and it's a really helpful outlet for me to cope with all of these really heavy emotions, just about the world, about my life, about my chronic illness, and the uncertainty that we hold. I feel like it's been a really, really helpful thing for me, and I really enjoy sharing my creations with you all.
I love that so much, especially being diagnosed so young with a chronic illness. I was also diagnosed with my lupus very young, and I was still in high school. And that whole experience was such a dumpster fire of an experience because, I'm sure you experienced, nobody believed you, nobody wanted to treat you. They thought you were making it up, and then
Oh yeah.
your friends probably got all weird, and then you come back and they're like, "Oh, who are you? What is this?" And it's just like, so what was it like having that diagnosis so early on and having to navigate and readjust your life?
Yes. So I have been diagnosed with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and that comes with a lot of comorbidities. A lot. It's a full body disease, and I have a more severe presentation of that, unfortunately. I was very grateful that I was diagnosed about within a year of noticing symptoms, which is really, really fast. If like people, it takes years and years and years to get diagnosed. So I am so grateful for that privilege of being able to be diagnosed and kind of like know, okay, this is the right direction that we're heading in. However, with that social and like school aspect, it was really hard. I felt really disconnected from everybody else at school because I'm like, they're living completely different lives from me. They're complaining about homework and practice after school, and I can't, I'm like barely surviving here. Um, so it honestly felt good to stop school just because that was a lot of pressure. And I am also was really struggling with my mental health at that time, with depression, with perfectionism, and feeling like academically I needed to be perfect student with this huge burden of this illness that was coming on. And I didn't even realize how much my illness was affecting me at first because it became normal for me. Um, so that was really hard. And I think once I kind of took a step back um, from school and from work, from all of those things, I was like, okay, right now I have this chance, this privilege to just work on my health right now. And I'm so grateful for that opportunity. And I'm going to take advantage of that because that's really what I need. I need to rest and I need to kind of form systems within myself on how I'm going to, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So,
Absolutely. It's totally a marathon and not a sprint. So do you find it difficult to keep up with some of the creative things that you want to do? Because I know I love being creative. And sometimes my lupus is like, nope, you're gonna sit your butt down and you're not gonna do anything. So is it difficult to
yeah,
like navigate all that?
definitely. I've found ways to make creating a bit more accessible for me. Right now, I'm in the process of learning to crochet because that's something I can do laying down in bed, which I don't know if you guys know, but I have to spend like 80% of my time in bed, like horizontal with a heating pad, or else my body will freak out. So, um, I'm trying to figure out more ways that I can do things like while I'm laying down, but I do definitely take advantage of every little bit of time I get when I'm able to be up and about. Because I just creating is so regulating to me. It's really something I need. Um, it's it's just really essential, and I think for a while when I was struggling so much with depression and back in high school and I had stopped creating, that was a problem. I needed to be able to have an outlet for all of these really heavy emotions and experiences that I've been carrying.
That is so important and so powerful. And I wish more folks talked about like the whole mental health aspect to dealing with a chronic illness. Oftentimes folks want to just keep it separate. Like, no, that's in one bucket and that's in another bucket. It's like, well, what if you fit into both buckets?
Exactly, and I think sometimes it stems from like that experience of being gaslit in medical settings and being told it's all in your head or this is a mental health problem, when in reality those things can coexist. It doesn't cancel out the fact that you have a physical health problem and a mental health problem. In fact, physical health problems often cause mental health problems, so it's very interconnected. And I wish that the medical system would see that because it definitely pushes folks into different categories of, okay, you have a physical illness, so you're not allowed to have these like mental health problems, or if you have a mental health problem, you aren't allowed to be physically ill. And it just feels like that's just not right.
Mm. No, I totally agree with that. Or there's some people who are like, oh, you're depressed because of your chronic illness, which is
Right.
not always the case.
Right. It's complicated. It's very
Yeah,
nuanced. Like
very.
we're human. Disability, is one part of us, but we're, you know, complex and complicated beings.
Yeah, I often bring that up. I'm like, because I think sometimes the world looks at us in very one-dimensional ways, but
Yes,
we're very multidimensional and
exactly.
dimensional in our identities, but also in our experiences and living life and doing all the things. So I think that's such an important point that you bring up.
Thank you. Yes, I absolutely agree.
Absolutely. So you were talking about being a fashionista, and I also love that you showed us your dress. So do you?
Oh,
I
thank
also
you.
do fashion things in New York. I'm working on a project with. I can't remember if I told them I wasn't going to mention it, but I work with this school and this department store around adaptive
That is
clothing
so
right now.
cool.
And I've also yesterday, hot off the press, got asked to work to walk in New York Fashion Week in September, which
That is awesome. I am so
I
happy for
oh,
you.
when they asked me, I literally texted everybody. I was like, "You guys are coming. You guys are coming, September
Oh, yeah,
11th.
they are.
Damn right." So I'm gonna have the whole room's gonna be full of all my people because I'm so
That
excited.
is
I
so
can't believe it.
good. I love that for you.
Thank you. I love it for me too. I was like, "What? Okay, this is next level." So, what do you love about? So, one of the things I love about fashion is how creative that you can be with it, but also that you can add like your personality into it. You can add a different personality to you can add colors, you could take away color, you can do all the things. So this is a two-part question. One, what are one of the your favorite outfits that you've ever worn and sort of shown off? And two, when you're looking to be creative with the pieces that you're going to wear and some of the backgrounds and the parts and sort of content of it, what are some of the things that you're looking for? Are you looking to highlight your personality, or are you looking to highlight other things, or do you do both?
Yes, so I like to say that my outfits are basically like my soul on display. So it is absolutely coming from within, and this is just like who I am, and I feel like it's a really good way for me to kind of reclaim my self apart from the things that have happened to me, apart from my chronic illness and apart from, mental health struggles, PTSD, things like that. So I feel like it is feels very empowering to be able to say, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this on my body. I'm gonna set this intention with this outfit, and I'm gonna show it off to the world. Um, and then, what was the first question again? I apologize.
No, it's all good. What is one of your favorite outfits that you've
Oh,
worn? Yes.
yes. So, okay, I this that I am wearing today is one of my favorite pieces I own. It is a bolero, and sorry, it is like has a little ruffle, and it is just the cutest. I love the color as well. I'm really into purple and pink. That is my color scheme, and I'm wearing purple and pink today. I have a very specific dress that I really, really enjoy, and I think it is really represents me, and it has these little ballet slippers at the bottom, printed on the dress, and it has this like really ruffly flowing color, and it's pink and red, which I also love pink and red as a color combination. I just adore that outfit. Um, I like to wear. I have a lot of different shoes. I do have these purple ones that I thrifted that have like these little ribbons, so it looks kind of like a ballet shoe. I really like those a lot. I think they're really unique. And I really enjoy getting all my fashion sustainably as well. So I get all of it secondhand. Either I thrift it like in person or I go on secondhand websites. A lot of my fashion is Japanese fashion. So in order to get those specific pieces, I go on Makari Japan, which allows you to order. I haven't been able to do it because of the tariffs, but before that happened, it was good. I got most of my wardrobe from there and thrifted locally.
I love that so much, and I hope that we can share some of these links and pictures in the show notes,
Oh
just so
yeah,
folks can have a visual. Because
yes.
I love fashion so much as well, and I love putting my personality in my clothes in different patterns and different colors. And
Yes.
sometimes when I'm not feeling the best mentally, that's when I dress the brightest.
Yes, I
And
totally
yes.
resonate with that. I think sometimes people on the outside assume that if I look like this, I'm put together and I'm dressed up all nice, that I must be feeling great and like mentally great, physically great, and that is usually not the case. Um, I actually use it kind of as even when I'm not feeling great to kind of sometimes if I have to do something and I'm not feeling good, if I put on the outfit, it makes me feel a little better. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. Just it just makes me feel better. It's like a cue to my body and to my mind that it's gonna be okay, and I'm showing up as me today.
I love that. I resonate with that. Love that so much. And it's also, and also, you guys, just send us to the side. You could do it as a test yourself. If you're ever feeling a little shitty in the morning when you wake up, put on a bright sweater, put on some big colorful earrings, do your hair up big, and see if that changes how you're feeling inside. Because I promise you, it just might. So there you go. So I do a lot of community work in the work that I do with like my day job and all the different projects that I work on. So is there anything that you get involved in your community where you can be creative and artistic and colorful and also, check people out to make sure that they're also being creative and colorful?
Yes, I have definitely. There is going to be a creative lounge coming soon to where I live, and I am so excited. I think this is going to be such a good opportunity to kind of like form more connections, get more community like in person. Um, and I'm so excited. Unfortunately, due to my illness, I'm not always able to leave the house. So I do get involved more with like online communities and definitely like my account is a way for me to just kind of put myself out there. I have been applying to some different art magazines, both like locally and more broadly in the world. And I'm hoping to maybe see if I can connect with more folks in that way as well.
Sorry, I think my computer's also having a lupus flare.
Oh no.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I hope we can share that in the show notes as well in case somebody else wants to check that as well, because I think that'd be real cool. Um, so you talked about some of the things that make you happy and excited, like doing your art, doing creativity, doing your fashion stuff, doing this event that's coming up, which sounds so cool. So, are there other things that you do to keep your joy levels up, especially in this? I, I don't even know how to describe the world these days, but it
Yeah.
just feels like a giant dumpster fire of yuck.
Yes.
So,
I
how do
think
you hold on to your disabled
yeah.
joy?
I think that joy is resistance, right? Especially if you are part of a minority group, and it's important. It's important to not get burnt out. All of these heavy things are very important to witness and carry, but you also need to incorporate that joy, or else you won't be able to do this. You'll get burnt out. You won't be able to continue to help yourself and others. So ways that engage in joy, definitely my special interest. So I'm autistic, and my special interest is pufferfish. And I actually have a pet pufferfish. He's back there in that tank. His name is Goobab. They'll get a picture of him for the yes. And he is just adorable. He brings me so much joy. He has so much personality. He's very smart fish. Um, and I just love him. I really enjoy drawing pufferfish. I have tons of them in my art. I like watching videos of them. I save pictures of them all over. It just makes me so happy. I like going to fish stores and aquariums if I'm gonna be in an area that has a saltwater fish store, or even a freshwater fish store because there's freshwater puffers. I will like to go and check it out and look at the pufferfish, and I really enjoy that. I also really seek a lot of joy, just like I think the like glimmers, I think is what it's called, in your life. Like maybe the sunset was really pretty, or the leaves, or like the sunlight is coming through the leaves and it's just like this dappled sunlight. I just really enjoy that. I find a lot of joy in nature as well. I'm really lucky to live in an area where there's a lot of nature that's very accessible, and that has been my saving grace. I really, really am so lucky to be surrounded with such beauty that the universe is. Even though there's a lot of dumpster fire, as we are talking about, which is terrifying and just horrifying. But I also think that in order to have sustainability with this, we need to incorporate that joy as well and not feel guilty for that survival. It's not frivolous.
I so agree with that. I do think joy is resistance, and being joyful in the face of all this dumpster fire stuff, I think that shows all the parties that we will not be taken out, and that our happiness and our joy will absolutely stay in this resistance, because I don't think
Yes.
they want us to be happy. So I'm going to
No,
be
they don't.
happy, damn it. So that
Exactly. I strongly believe that hope is really, really key to this resistance and all resistance over time. Because if you give up and say, I am just going to give up, the world is going to go to shit and I can't do anything about it, you're doing their job for them. Hope is what gives us the opportunity to overcome. Hope is so important, I think, and it's been important for all of time, for all um, liberation.
absolutely. And what did Emily Dickinson say? Hope is a thing with wings. So let
I
it
think
fly,
so.
y'all. Let it
Yes,
fly. Let that
yes.
hope fly all over the place.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that so much. Yes. So shifting just a teeny bit, if you could change anything about the world, what would it be and why?
I think we really need to be centering love in this world. I think there's a lot of things that are coming from hatred right now. And I think that love is what we are, and it is what we are surrounded with. And in order to really express that love, we need to take care of each other. We need to connect with each other. We need to center those that are most greatly affected by these oppressive systems and come from love, come from the heart. Like, I think that's really important right now.
That is so beautiful, because I agree with that so much. So many times we want to be reactionary and angry and violent and nasty, instead of being like, wait, we're all people. We're all human
Exactly.
beings. And
And I
we
think, like, we need to love the people more than we hate the system, you
Oh,
know?
yes. Oh, yes. I totally agree with that. And I think sometimes if we came from a place of love and understanding, rather than judgment and negativity and like division, we would be so much better as human beings with each other.
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
that's yeah, I love that so much, because I also am like, no, why aren't we loving each other more? Why aren't we,
Exactly. That's what we're meant to
Absolutely.
do.
Absolutely. So with some of the things that you do, have you encountered, I'm sure you have, like discrimination from people who don't necessarily want to include you or make things accessible?
Yes. So I do have a lot of privilege as a white woman. However, definitely as a disabled person and as a woman, I do experience some discrimination. Um I think I get excluded a lot. I've been excluded a lot my whole life because of my autism, and now especially due to my physical disability. I feel like disabled folks are often just left out, either physically or in conversations, and that really upsets me. I think that that needs to change, um, because we deserve to be included.
So what would you do to change that, or how do you think we should push that along so more people are included?
Yeah, I think it goes back to that, like, coming from love. And in order to come from love, we need to kind of like have this understanding of like trying to understand each other. Like, just try. That's the step one. Instead of shifting right to judgment and, well, I'm not familiar with this, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, that is not what we need to be doing. We need to be centering other people for once, like thinking about other people and thinking about, okay, maybe this person experiences life differently than I do, but that doesn't mean that we need to leave them out. That means that we need to be even more understanding, more thoughtful and mindful, and more focused on including this person in ways that they can participate. Accessibility hurts no one.
That should go on a billboard, on a t-shirt, on one of those airplane things that put the little cloud
Yes.
words in the sky. Like that's absolutely 1,000%. Um, so I love that you mentioned a little earlier that you have been learning to crochet. I used to crochet before my arthritis got a little too bad with my hands. Are there any other new things you're discovering or new things that you want to discover about being creative and a fashionista that you'd like to do?
Yes, one thing that I've dabbled in a tiny bit is creating music, and I would really, really like to continue to explore this. As I have a little bit more ability, I'm kind of in the middle of my figuring out my health journey, but I'm possibly having major surgery soon that could really change my life for the better. So I'm kind of dreaming about like what that, what my new life might look like, what I would be able to do, what kinds of things I'd be able to create and what that would look like. And I definitely want to learn more like sound art, I guess. I'm really into visual art, but I also want to expand into that audio kind of dimension.
That sounds so awesome, and I am so co-signing you for discovering that because I also love music and I taught myself how to DJ a few years
Oh,
ago, and so now I'm like, "Ooh, I wanna learn music production. Ooh, I wanna
music
learn
is
all
just,
these
I
things."
love music. Like, what would we be without music? I love music so much. I truly
Who's
think
one of
music
your
is
favorite
incredible.
artists?
So yes, I really enjoy experimental pop is the genre that I like. So you see Grimes, who I don't support as a person, but I do really enjoy her music. And this other artist from Singapore, I believe their name is Yule. And this other artist I just discovered, their name is Anna Roxanne, and they make they're traditionally trained in Hindustani music, like classical music, but they also do this kind of experimental pop vibe that's very soothing, very meditative, very healing. And I've just had it on 24/7. I love Anna Roxanne. I really recommend you guys check them out.
Yeah, I'll put a hashtag and a link in the show notes, y'all, because I'm learning so many cool things, and I think that also, like, there's so many different artists and musicians and creatives and fashionista people, all kinds of folks that are so undiscovered or underdiscovered. And
Yes,
so I'm all
yes.
about sharing all these different things that I come across with folks. That's so cool. Thank you for name dropping. I love that.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to share my favorite artists. They are such inspirations to me. I just feel I really just feel so warmed and loved when I listen to their music.
Are there any artists, now that we're mentioning artists that we love, are there any artists that you'd love to do like a collaboration, a create any kind of creative collaboration with?
Yes, so I am currently an ambassador for this jewelry company based out of Washington State, and the owner of that jewelry company and I are doing a collaborative piece currently, and it's going to be a pink and purple beaded choker necklace. She is currently sketching some things up for me, and we'll see how it turns out. But I gave her all of the details of like, okay, this is how I want it to be, and like we kind of like met creatively like with our different processes and just kind of thinking about like, okay, this is what I was thinking for like the vibes, and then you create it, you take the vision and you make it. And I'm really excited about this opportunity to be an ambassador for this small jewelry business. Um, and the owner is just so lovely. Really enjoyed connecting with them and all the other ambassadors.
I love that so much, and I'd love to share that with folks as well because that sounds like such a cool company that they're working with the ambassadors to create pieces.
Yes,
Like that's
it's awesome. They're so like the company I feel like is just so down to earth. Like they speak on all different kinds of issues that are affecting the world. Like our values definitely really align, which really drew me to that brand. And the jewelry is just it's so whimsical, it's so cute and like just brightens my day. It's just a joyful thing.
I love that so much. So when you're creating pieces, and finding outfits, what are some of the looks that you like, aside from like the colors and aside from the whimsy, like what are some of the looks that you gravitate towards, and what are some of like the messages that you want to send with the looks that you're putting out there?
Yes, so I definitely think of my fashion as just another form of my art. And with all of my art, I think the main themes and the intention behind it is definitely like the collective unity part, so that we're all one, and just that awe, that feeling of awe, like for little things, for big things. I think that's really important. And that's something I really want to convey in my art, both my outfits and visual art, all kinds of art that I do. And also that like intuitive wildness of like that kind of little beast within you that can't be tamed. And you shouldn't try to tame it. Maybe you should listen to it more.
I'm all about listening to my inner beast. My inner beast is probably the one who's talking out there. So,
Good for
I
you. Good
love
for
that.
you.
I love that so much. Yes, let's empower and encourage our inner beasts, y'all. Let's go. I love that so much. Um, so are there any other things that you want people to know about you, and anything, whether it's your creativity, whether it's your artistic side, whether it's your puffer? I never thought I was going to be learning about puffer fish, but that was an awesome education about
Thank you.
having pets and having joy through your pets. So is there any other additional things that you want people to know about you?
Yes, so I think that like if I were to think of like a really broad statement, like what is my life's purpose? I've figured out what that is in the past few years, and I'm really proud of it. My life purpose is to be as much love as I can, and to spread as much love as I can. And that's all. To be and to love, those are the main things, and everything else just doesn't matter as much to me, to be honest. Like, yes, I want to achieve things, I want to do things in my life, I want to create all of that, but I think that the like it really boils down to just that: be a human being and love, which are very intertwined.
That is so amazing. I love that so much. So how can we in the community support you to do that? And how can other people support you to do that, to be the
I
love?
think that, yeah, the main thing is just like thinking about like impact matters more than intent. So you always need to be working on yourself. Like I'm always working internally about how can I be a better person to others, and be better person to myself as well. And I think that that self love and self acceptance is a really big part of becoming a better person to others as well as to yourself, because you can't really be kind to others if you aren't kind to yourself. You can't be a kind person if you aren't kind to yourself, because that's where it starts. It's where it starts. And if you treat yourself poorly, like that's not setting that expectation, that example of how you would want to be treating others.
I love that so much because oftentimes folks don't even first they don't even understand the difference between being nice and being kind. And
Mm,
then they're also not kind to themselves, and so they're not inclined to be kind to other people.
exactly. And it's practice. It's practice. We're going to be
Yes.
imperfect, and that's okay. And remember, shame stands for should have mastered everything. And that's a, we're not going to do that. It's not helpful. We're
I
going to
love that
be
acronym for
accountable
shame.
for ourselves, but we aren't going to shame ourselves, because shame really doesn't help anyone.
I so agree with that. And I love that acronym for shame. I've never heard that before. That's
I
so
was glad I was
awesome.
able to share.
I no, I love that because that reminds me of a different acronym for fear, and that's false evidence appearing real. And I think that those are so connected between the fear and the shame, and
Yes,
how people are not nice to folks because they're not nice to themselves or
exactly,
not
because
kind
it's
to folks
coming
'cause
from
they're.
fear and it should be coming from love.
Yes, no, absolutely. I love that so much. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with folks while we're chatting? Because it's been such a
Um,
fun
yeah, this
conversation.
has been so much fun. I'm so glad to be on here. I don't think I have anything else for today. Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say I just love talking to you today, and it was really nice. It's been a very uplifting experience.
I so enjoyed sharing you with folks, and I hope that they felt your joy and your colorfulness and your fashion and your creativity through this. And I can't wait to share the pictures and links with folks because I think that that will that will showcase even more of who you are and what we've seen on the screen today. Because I wanted to just share that. I could feel the joy through your Instagram. And I was
Oh,
like,
thank
I
you.
want to
I'm
share
so
this with
happy.
people. That's I
That
just
means so much.
I just love your energy so much. So I'm so happy to share it with other people because we need more of that. We need
We
more of
do.
that.
We do.
So
It's
yes.
very important.
So thank you so much for being with us
Thank you.
today,
Thank you.
and hopefully we can have you back at a later time and talk even more, especially after your event and after your surgery and all the
Yeah,
stuff, so that we can update folks and share even more of that love and joy with the audience. So
I'll
thank
be
you so
looking
much.
forward to it. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much. I hope
Of
you have a
course.
lovely day.
Thank you. You too.